Welcome in to the Players Club for Week 8. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, and from his studio, Mick Gillespie, Bama Insider on 3 Sports. He joins us. Man, nice T-shirt, Mick. What's up, man?
Look, I love these. I wore this earlier today on a different shoot, and I'm like, I got to promote you guys. You got not only do I love the show, but the gear's incredible. So this is the flag shirt right here. Boom! I'm proud to rep.
Yeah, literally flying the flag for the next round. So we appreciate that.
Well, we'll tell you about Mick's favorite sportsbook in just a second. But at lanceslock.com, we always want to remind you that not only the 5 plays we'll play here, but he'll give you insight to every game all the time at lanceslock.com.
Yeah, Mick, not trying to jinx this, 16 consecutive non-losing weeks. We're on that roll since back in June. And right now we started this week. We're 6-0 this week. So we're already 2-0 in the NBA. And again, for $90, you get everything. You get all our NBA plays. Major League Baseball, we had the Padres as we record this last night in Game 2. They came back from 4 down. Obviously, the NFL, college football, full slates. Everything is $90. We have daily packages. Go to lanceslock.com. We give you a free play every day as well at lanceslock.com.
We got 5 games coming up, and we're going to get into that. But remember, the Players Club is brought to you by the Vegas-style sportsbook that you get over at the Golden Moon Hotel and Casino in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The sportsbook at Timeout Lounge gives you that Vegas-style experience where you can wager on all the sports you love to bet on right there. And now until March Madness, you can bet $50, just $50, and you get to play around at Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, one of the best-known golf courses in the entire South. You get to play that for only $30. You bet $50, you play the golf for $30 up until March Madness with our friends at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game, and that's what we're going to do here. The first game we're going to play, Mick, I'll start with you. It is Syracuse and Clemson, 11 a.m. on ABC. I don't have a number on this one that pulled up in front of me yet right now, but Clemson's the favorite at home in this one. But Syracuse is off to a great start. How are you playing this game, Mick?
There's a big chance I was going to be a Syracuse grad. When I was in high school, I got accepted into Syracuse and went on orientation up there. And then I realized it was going to be way too expensive, but a great broadcasting school and someone that I still pay attention to because I thought that's where I was going to go forever, right? Syracuse normally stinks at football, though. They're never really that good, except this year. They've kind of surprised everyone. They're 6-0 this season, 3-0 in the ACC. And they're taking on Clemson, a team that they did beat recently, right? Remember, Dabo went into their locker room. Hey, guys, great job, right? Well, Clemson's 7-0 coming off of that bruiser win to improve their record to 5-0 in the conference over Florida State. I really like Eric Schrader, the quarterback of the Orange. I mean, this guy's, right around 70% passing. He's got 12 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. But, Clemson, they're going to beat them. I mean, but it's just by how much, right? The crazy thing, though, is I saw this and made me laugh. Syracuse 6-0, 2 other times since World War II. In both of those years, they finished undefeated, 1959 and 1987. I think that trend stops. Clemson's won 37 straight at home. It still goes back to the 13.5 points. Do you feel like Clemson's going to cover that or not? I think that they will. I think they'll win close to the number. I think it'll be 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. It's just a matter of how many is Clemson going to win by. And I think that if they were on the road at Syracuse, this one would be a lot more interesting to me.
In Death Valley, it does make it a lot different. It seems like Syracuse hasn't played a road game this year, but Clemson 27-14 against the number versus ACC opponents over the past 5 years. That's the best cover percentage in the ACC. You mentioned Syracuse 6-0 for the first time since '87. They're also 5-1 against the number. And Garrett Schrader that you mentioned, he has resurrected his career coming from Mississippi State, transferring and now playing for Babers. He's playing extremely well, and they've got balance. Sean Tucker, 111 yards per game on the ground. They're 2-8 all times versus Clemson. I remember vividly that win on Friday night just a couple of years ago against Clemson. I think Clemson was ranked number 2 in that game. Gosh, this is a tough game. Because it's at 11 o'clock, if it was a 2:30, I would love Clemson. Because it's 11 o'clock and weird things happen at 11 o'clock, I'm actually going to take the Qs plus the points.
Oh, you're going to take Syracuse plus the point there. Yeah. And your pick was Clemson, right, Mick?
Yeah, I'm taking Clemson. I know they're going to win. I just don't know by how many.
Yeah,
but I say they'll probably cover.
13.5 is what we're playing at. I'm going to take Clemson. Syracuse off to their first 6-0 start since the Reagan administration. I think the moment's too big for him. I'm going to ride with Will Shipley in DJU there. Our second game that we're going to play is a big one in the Big 12, Texas and Oklahoma State. We're going to play it at -6.5. Texas is the favorite. Mick, I'm going to start with Lance on this one, but something that you can think about while he's talking. It's Quinn Ewers' first true road game as a starter at Texas. Go, LT.
Yeah, this number's just strange. This number should be more in the range of Texas 1 or 2. Oklahoma State coming off their first loss. It was a tough loss against TCU, a team that's undefeated, a game that Oklahoma State had in control up 17. Spencer Sanders is not 100%. I think this number plays into that. And you look at Texas 1-5 against the number on the road over the last couple of years. But Bijan Robinson, Xavier Worthy, who scored a touchdown in 4 straight games, and Quinn Ewers, I think a little too much. I'm going to lay the points here. I'm pulling for Oklahoma State, but I think Texas wins and covers.
What about you, Mick? Where are you going on this game, man?
Well, people keep texting me. They're like, is this right? How is Texas, who hasn't won a Big 12 game, with Sark as their head coach that really matters, ever, right? So, this is kind of like a coming out party for them, but they're almost a touchdown favorite. Maybe it's that Sanders is injured. Texas definitely starting to get healthy after being banged up against Alabama. Plus, they've won 4 straight games. I watched Oklahoma State last week. I had them. I thought they were going to win the football game. They blew it late against TCU. They had the lead in that contest, but I felt like that was a really even matchup. I don't know. I guess it would really just come down to an injury, but I'm glad to take 6.5 points. I love a home dog. I think Oklahoma State is they're probably looking at this matchup as a chance to redeem themselves after a game that they had and let slip away last week.
Yeah, I think Texas got their bad game out last week against Iowa State. I like Texas in this one. The Players Club is brought to you by our friends at lanceslock.com. LT and his crew have you locked up for games not only on Thursday night, not only on Friday night, but Saturday and Sunday too.
Yeah, look, if you want to win, jump on board. A lot of services out there charging thousands of dollars per month. We're charging $90. It's $3 a day, and we give you everything. We give you the NBA, which just started. We're 2-0, by the way, in the NBA. We give you the Major League Baseball playoffs, college football, the NFL. Everything is $90. Give us a try. If you don't like us, you can go away. I get it. We're going to win for you, though. 16 consecutive non-losing weeks. Everything is documented. Jump on board. We give you a free play every day. lanceslock.com.
From free plays to fun plays, the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Mick, that's one of your favorite places to go, I know.
Yeah, look, you can take LT's locks as like a cheat sheet over there. Just go get that service and then roll over to Pearl River Resort, not far, maybe less than 2 hours from Birmingham and even closer from Tuscaloosa, obviously, in Mississippi and Choctaw, Mississippi. It's great, man. You talk about a sports book that really gives you the Vegas experience, but close to where we're at. 5 kiosks, 10 VIP terminals, 3 retail stations. And right now, this is the greatest time of the year if you like sports. You got college football right in the middle of the season. The NFL is rolling, right? But you got the MLB playoffs, the 2 great series going on right now. You've got NASCAR, you've got golf, just so many different things. They have it all at Pearl River Resort. And as you mentioned, Jim, you bet $50, you can play a round of golf for $30. And they always have music acts going on over there. They got great food, different restaurants inside the building, and then all the table games that are going on as well and slots. It's a lot of fun. And your bachelor party, maybe just want to get away for the weekend, or maybe just want to hit the sports book. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it.
An Alabama play at the end of the Players Club here, but 3 more games, including UCLA, an unbeaten underdog, on the road in Eugene against Oregon. Oregon -5.5 in this one. Both teams coming off a bye, Lance.
Yeah, and both teams lead the Pac-12 in rushing. Both teams lead the Pac-12 in rush defense, so something's got to give here. Both teams score a ton of points right now. UCLA 12th nationally, 41.5 points per game. Oregon 9th nationally, 42 points per game. Both quarterbacks, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Bo Nix are both playing at a high level. I just get this feeling, 22 straight wins at Autzen, a little too much Oregon in this spot. I think they give UCLA their first loss. I'm not going to try to thread the needle and say that Oregon wins and doesn't cover, so I'm going to lay the points here and take the Ducks.
Okay, he's going Oregon, Mick. What about you? Are you DTR or are you Bo Nix?
Yeah, this is a really tough game for me to call, and it's one that I probably wouldn't play. But the fact that, Oregon's given up 6 to UCLA, the Bruins are the last undefeated team in the Pac-12. They almost lost. I watched the entire game to South Alabama, but they didn't. They made the plays at the end of that game, and that was kind of that slip-up game. And then since then, they've been under Chip Kelly finding a lot of offense. They're scoring just about 42 points a game, which I guess in this day and age of college football is a little bit better than normal, right? But their quarterback, Thompson Robinson, is a guy that can run the ball. He can throw it a little bit. We saw Oregon against Georgia get throttled, right? I mean, just absolutely destroyed. But that was also Dan Lanning's first ever game. And since then, Bo Nix, who I really enjoy, I like him, and it's because I watched him on your show as a guest when he was Auburn's quarterback. He just seems like a guy that shoots it straight. He's entertaining, and he's a good quarterback. We're at 70+% passing now, and that's like 10 points better than he was at Auburn. So what happened? He couldn't throw the ball for Auburn consistently. He's doing that now for the Ducks. Oregon 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 wins. Chip Kelly used to coach at Oregon. I mean, this is an important game to him, but it's been tough for him to beat Oregon. He's 0-3 against his own school. He coached there from 2009 to 2012, and he was really good as the head coach there, one of the best in the country. If I was playing this game, I would take Oregon at home and give up the 6.
UCLA with a 7-game losing streak against Oregon, and it is Chip's first trip back to Eugene with fans in the stand. I, too, am going to play Oregon and give the points. A big game in the SEC in that 2:30 windows in Baton Rouge. Ole Miss, unbeaten number 7 in the country, underdogs to LSU at Tiger Stadium, -1.5. Mick, I'll start with you, but I will tell you this starts a run for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss at LSU this week. Then they're at Texas A&M, home to Alabama, at Arkansas, then the Egg Bowl. We're about to find out if Ole Miss is a pretender or a contender.
Yeah, look, and I mean, just as an Alabama guy, I kind of want to see Alabama and Tennessee again, so I'm going to do anything in my mind, the jinx Ole Miss, because I would love to see those two meet up in Atlanta. But there's a lot of people that feel like it's going to be Ole Miss and Tennessee in Atlanta. Wouldn't that be kind of a weird matchup when it's been so much Georgia and Alabama? I saw the spread and I see LSU favorite. And every time I watch them, I don't think they're very good. They don't generate enough of a pass rush. I don't like their offense. They're inconsistent. And then I watch Ole Miss, and at times they're really good. And they've won a lot of games. Jackson Dart's been a decent quarterback. I thought the win over Kentucky, which I watched that entire game, was a really good win against a tough defense at home. They struggled a little bit against Auburn, but Lane Kiffin has become an excellent head coach. They had the onside kick last week. They could feel the momentum, and then he made the call, and that kind of iced it. I know that historically LSU's been better than Ole Miss. I just don't think that's the case this time. I don't see LSU winning this football game. I'll gladly take the points here, and I'm rolling with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, me too, Lance. What about you?
Look, Ole Miss with a win would be 8-0 for the first time since 1962 when they won a national championship.
That's even pre-me.
Hey, look, they're running the football well. They're third nationally in rushing with 271 yards per game. They're getting it done with multiple guys, including the quarterback Jackson Dart. But Jaden Daniels, coming off that career game, 6 total touchdowns in the swamp. I think he started to settle down a little bit. Team's getting better and better. LSU 14-4-1 against the number versus top 10s since the start of 2017. That's the best cover percentage in the SEC. I am going to take the LSU Tigers. Not even pulling the upset. They're favored here.
No, LSU is his play. Mick and I riding with the Rebels. One more. It's the night game at Bryant-Denny. Coming down from the loss on Rocky Top, Alabama a 21-point favorite to Mississippi State, who lost in the Bluegrass to Kentucky. Mick, I'll start with you. This Alabama team has a lot of flaws, but stopping Mike Leach hasn't been one of them.
Yeah. Look, and the problem is that they have a tough time stopping the deep pass, but Rodgers throws short passes, and Alabama is able to get out there and tackle in space. They'll have better athletes than Mississippi State. Mississippi State is Jekyll and Hyde this year. They've been tough for me to handicap, right? I mean, one week they destroy Texas A&M, and then the next week they can't score against Kentucky. You know, which team's going to show up? Alabama traditionally has owned this series, 84-18-3. They've won 14 straight games. Plus, you know, for some reason, every year Alabama loses, and then they play Mississippi State, and they take out all of their frustrations on the Bulldogs. It's a 21-point spread. First off, Alabama has had problems with penalties, but it's been on the road. At home, they really haven't had that issue. Yeah, they turned the ball over against Texas A&M, but they still dominated the game, just not on the scoreboard. They dominated it, as far as statistics go. I think Alabama, if they're going to turn the corner, it's going to start Saturday, right? It's just time. It's either do or die time. And so 21 points against a team that has had a tough time scoring touchdowns. Mike Leach is no problem for Alabama. And I think the Crimson Tide are going to roll on Saturday.
I think if Alabama was coming off a win, this might be a little more difficult. I think it gets them more focused. Look, they've covered 4 straight after a straight-up loss. They've been favored in 78 consecutive regular season games. That's a record. I like Alabama in this spot. I like Will Rogers. I like this Mississippi State team. But going back, watching last week how that offense struggled, it's really going to struggle against an Alabama defense that's got something to prove. Big number here, but I'm laying it.
Listen, Mississippi State could not stop Kentucky from managing the clock last week. 40 minutes of possession time to just 20 for Mississippi State. That's because they couldn't get Chris Rodriguez off the field, 196 yards. Alabama starts running the football, opens up easier passing game, some more passing yards. I like Alabama giving the points as well. The recap before Mick tells us one more time about the fine folks over there in Mississippi at the Vegas-style casinos are this. In the Clemson-Syracuse game, Mick and I like Clemson, LT likes Syracuse. In the Texas-Oklahoma State game, LT and I likes Texas. It's Mick that likes Oklahoma State. We all love Oregon. At the Ole Miss-LSU game, it's Mick and I that likes Ole Miss, LT likes LSU, and then we're all on Bama. We all should be heading over to Mississippi. Such a short drive from Birmingham to Tuscaloosa to get to the Golden Moon Hotel and Casino in Philadelphia, Mississippi, Mick.
Yeah, look, all the games, too. You don't need your friend with the Fire Stick to be able to see the Pac-12 games. I mean, they have every single package that's out there, whether it's in the United States or abroad. You're talking about any sport, they're going to be able to throw it up on their TVs. So not only can you play that game, you can also watch it as well. 5 kiosks, 10 VIP terminals, 3 retail stations. It's also an awesome place to watch boxing. Deontay Wilder back in action last Saturday after Alabama played. He had that first round knockout. Hey, I watched him and Tyson Fury fight over there, and it was just a blast, putting a little money on it and then watching the fight. You got college football, baseball playoffs, NASCAR, golf, NFL, all that stuff rolling right now. NBA as well, and hockey playing on the screens, and you can go bet in this right now. If you do $50 in the Sportsbook, you get $30, or you can play Dancing Rabbit for $30. And I'm telling you, that's a great golf course too. It's a lot of fun. I love going over there and seeing those guys, and I think you will as well.
That's right. You bet 50, you get to play the golf at the Dancing Rabbit for $30. And Lance'sLock.com, always a great deal, especially if you use promo code Jim.
Yeah, use promo code Jim. We are winning right now, 16 consecutive non-losing weeks going back until June. We're killing it right now. 6-0 to start the week. Jump on board. It's only $90 for the entire month. You get a free play every day. Lance'sLock.com. Promo code Jim.
Promo code Jim. And that's the Players Club for Week 8. You guys go win some games.